Welcome back to the one and only Actors Lounge podcast with yours truly, Shay Nicholas, and as always, my friend,
Lamar Finesse.
Ooh, Lamar, take it away with the disclaimer.
Alright, everybody get out. If you're under 18, we don't need you in here, just leave. We are talking about some literature today, but grown folks literature, so get the fuck out if you're a kid.
Grown peeps, fuck off.
No, today we're going to have our first episode of our Actors Lounge podcast book club.
Yeah,
so we're gonna get into some stuff like I read a lot of gay literature and like comic books, graphic novels, and Shane reads
nothing. Just kidding.
He knows. He's read stuff.
I read some stuff.
Whatever he.
I'm reading a book right now. And I didn't get too much into it, but too much into the book. But I'm reading a book right now from an accomplished author that's local to Warren, Ohio, that owns his own brewery, and it's like a sci-fi military kind of style book that I'm really excited about. Nice. And I just got into it, and it just started getting really good. No spoilers. We'll talk more about it.
So
later.
We'll talk about that one day, and then we'll talk about. I have a whole little list of stuff of books that I want to talk about.
Such a good book.
So yeah, we got some stuff, and first we're gonna start off with a memoir. The Meaning of Mariah Carey, obviously written by Mariah Carey with Michaela Angela Davis. They partnered up to make this book, and I will say it's very well paced, well written, and kind of until the fourth part. It's cut up in 4 sections.
Yeah, he's been telling me a lot about this.
I had to get this. I had to get this off my chest. So I'm glad we're doing this. Did you want to tell them what we've been up to?
Oh yeah, let's go over what we've been up to. Oh my gosh, so I've been getting some better equipment, I've been upgrading our equipment to get a better podcast. So I have a new computer coming. It's really fucking expensive. I'm really excited about it. We'll be doing a GoFundMe and we're gonna be getting a Patreon soon for our YouTube and a join or whatever for those that want to do a monthly subscription for our YouTube. We're trying to get some better equipment that way we can have guests. The only reason why we haven't been having so many special guests is the only backdraft right now is our lack of equipment. Not from guests, because we both have plenty of people that love to be on our podcast, talk about whatever their life, what they're doing for a living, how they do it, how they rock and roll. I'm having music guests, health professionals. He knows some people in the industry and performance art that want to be on our podcast. Our only drawback right now is just our lack of equipment. We're minimalist.
So we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. But I mean, this is our 11th episode.
Yay.
So this is our 11th episode. Yay!
Double digits still.
That's right. So our most recent episode is our second best listened episode, by the way. Mm-hmm. So that's really good. So we're really making some headway. I know some of our videos are pretty long, or our podcasts are really long, but we like long form. We talk a lot about performance art. We talk about the acting process, the writing process, directing process. He and I both have a lot of experience in that. And we take a lot from our experiences and other people's experiences and what we've seen and how we watch film and TV. We watch film and TV very differently. We don't watch it as like just a watcher kind of thing where it's like, that was okay, but I didn't have enough of this. Like, fuck off. Like, we watch it as it's a good movie for this. So we have a completely different prerequisite to talk about these kinds of things we talk about. So we want to talk about books. As we want to talk about books, now we're going to talk about books.
And we're starting with The Meaning of Mariah.
Yeah, I love Mariah. She's a good actress. She's been in some film too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. She gets into a lot of that. This actually maybe I've read autobiographies, of course, and stuff like that. But as far as like a memoir, where it's about the person they actually took part in writing it, this is the first time I've read an actual memoir, I guess, and I'd say it's pretty personal, and it's pretty tastefully done too. She doesn't explain every single thing about her life. It's not really anything too salacious, but like if you're a music fan, because she's a big part of music, I would say. So like you might want to give it a read, and definitely if you're a lamb believe you know you already got this book, and I know you dug your heels up in them. But we're gonna start off. I'm gonna start off being a little shady. I'm going to read something that she wrote before the book really starts, and I'm gonna read the last part. It says, "And to Pat, my mother, who through it all, I do believe truly did the best she could. Aww. I will love you the best I can always." So I'm just letting you. You can already tell it ain't like the best relationship, just by that alone. But okay, so
give me a spoiler.
I think it's about 300 something pages. It's almost 350 pages. I took my time with it because I don't like to rush through books, especially when I'm enjoying them. I like to take my time, read maybe a certain amount, however much I feel like I want to read that day, and then just just live in that moment. Like, she has certain parts in certain chapters of this book, and like especially in chapter part 2, she has certain chapters that explain like certain videos, and there's one video, The Roof. If you guys know that from Butterfly 1997, she explains the backstory behind that video and what inspired it. I got my fucking life that day, bitch. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I just, oh my god. It was just so beautiful and amazing. And I will always remember the first time I read that and what it really inspired it. And it was freaking dope. Cause that's probably my favorite Mariah Carey video and one of my favorite music videos in life in general. Like, for real. So, it's nice to get some backstory on certain things. And, part 1 is Wayward Child, where she talks about her childhood with her mixed race family. Part 2 is Sing Sing, where she talks about her rise to fame once she finally got a record deal, and her marriage to Tommy Mottola, the fucking devil, and about how she basically was just about to get out of it. And then part 3 is All That Glitters, when she's out of that divorce and stuff, and she's starting her deal with I think Virgin Records. Yeah, she starts where she got the $100 million record deal with Virgin Records after leaving Sony Columbia. Yeah, so she starts that and All That Glitters and talks about the glitter breakdown and everything like that. And then part 4, which is my least favorite part, it was still good though, but it was very disconnected. But it talks about from the Emancipation album 2005 all the way up until like I guess now 2019 when this was probably finished, even though right now it's 2020. But yeah, I just want to say like Part 4 Emancipation, by the time you get there, it's probably like seriously less than 60 pages. So I'm like, wow, how are you going to talk about 2005 to right now in less than 60 pages? I was like, oh, I already knew it was like not going to be what I wanted it to be. But anyway, part 1, she talks about Wayward Child. And if you guys don't know Mariah Carey, I think she was born in 69 or 70. And her mother is Irish. Right.
I'll tell you right now.
Her mother was Irish and her father was African American and Venezuelan. So that's her heritage. And
1970, by the way.
1970, yeah. And she right. She has that they got together. The dad was military. I forget which branch, excuse me. But the mother was a former opera singer.
Wow.
So that's where she kind of got her base from learning, music and how to sing and everything like that. So that was kind of cool. And she has a older brother who's like 9 years older than her, Morgan.
Damn,
crazy as fuck. She has a sister who's 8 years older than her, Allison. Also crazy as fuck. And yeah, we're gonna get to that. And so by the time Mariah came along, she was 3 years old by the time her parents got divorced, and the shit just wasn't working. And she lived with her mom most of the time, and I don't know. See, this is the thing. I'm gonna just have to go in, like, I just have to let it out right now.
Do it.
Like, the mom, like, what was the point? Okay, tell me, what the fuck was the point of meeting this man and having 3 kids by him if you're not really gonna give a fuck as a mother? Like, I don't understand. Like, you're not into nurturing. You're not into development. I don't get it. It seemed like, I was like, did she, like, have her first 2 kids and then it drained her by the time she had Mariah? Or I don't fucking know. But, like, first off, as a provider, like, after they got divorced, at one point, they moved 13 times while Mariah was with her mom.
Holy shit.
Since she was, like, 3. Yeah, she moved 13 times. I moved a bunch, too, but I counted after reading this, maybe 8 or 9 times.
I'm probably about 13, 14 times.
Okay.
When I was younger, I moved around a lot.
Right, yeah. But, mostly
That's still a lot.
Yeah, mostly in, I think New York, New Jersey type of areas is where she mostly was.
She was born in Huntington, Long Island, New York. Mm-hmm. So she was New York bred.
Yeah,
she was a New
She
Yorker.
was. And she lives in Manhattan right now, I think. But,
okay.
But yeah, she, her mom, at one point, they lived in a shack for, like, the longest time until she actually moved out and got a record deal. Like, it was, like, some type of gross looking shack. I'm like, so she just, I know shit was expensive, but like you just never really hustled to like get better. Like I don't know. And then at one point it pissed me off because she said after she graduated and was trying to get a record deal and stuff, she her shoes were like she only had one pair of shoes and they were like ripped up, and she asked her mom for some money for some shoes or shoes. It didn't matter. I can't remember if she asked for money for the shoes or the actual shoes, but she asked for that, and then her mom asked the brother for it, and then he's like, she's just gonna have to learn how to do things for herself. She was like, well, damn, I'm just asking for one pair of shoes. I'm not asking for like fucking.
I'm asking you to do your job,
right? Okay, and first off, she asked you, mom.
Here.
She asked you, mom. She didn't ask big brother. She asked mother.
Yeah.
So her mom, I don't feel like her mom was any type of provider. I don't understand. But like seriously, what was the point of having kids if you're not really gonna?
Yeah.
Give a fuck, like, for...
So many people are so easy to have kids without wanting to understand their responsibility.
Exactly. Like, I don't get it. Like
20 years of work.
In my Cardi B voice, what was the reason? What was that reason? Like, seriously, I want to have a conversation with this woman, Patricia Carey. Like, seriously, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, okay, one time, she was about, I'm jumping, but let me just. I have to go in on the mom.
It's a big book.
She was probably about
big fucking book. Look at this thing.
She was about 16. She was about 16, and her mom was she was either married to this guy or dating a guy, and he took the guy took Mariah's mom and Mariah's nephew because her crazy sister had a kid by then. So he took them all out to dinner, and then like after dinner he got the bill. He was like, they're gonna have to pay for their own shit. And what the fuck? So Mariah just paid whatever she had, and she just left with her little nephew. And the mom just stayed there and with him for the evening. She didn't say like, dude, what the fuck? Like, she didn't do any of that. Like, ew. She stayed with him for that day. Like, she didn't. Ew. Like, what the fuck? Like, what type of shit is that? And then she said she just left, and then her and her nephew went to go see Back to the Future, part 1 or 2, I can't remember. But
part 2.
I'm like, that's what type of shit is that, Patricia? What the fuck?
What a lazy bitch.
That type of weird shit. That type of weird shit. Her dad was I think after a certain point she stopped having Sunday visits with her father for some reason. It just I don't know, they just got less. Don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put a ear on his book.
He sure did.
Fuck me, I'm sorry.
But
that was dumb.
Yes. At one point, she was going to her father's every Sunday for these visits, and he would make this type of pasta that she absolutely loved, and she does it. I think she said she does it every Christmas Eve or every New Year's Eve. I can't remember, but it's cute because like it was a sweet memory to her. And her dad was very structured. He was very military still. And he worked on this car a lot. I forget what kind of car it was. Sorry, guys. But
so his dad never kind of came into the picture, or
no? He was after the divorce. She would visit his house every Sunday, but after a few years or something like that, she just didn't go over there as much. But she remembered riding in his car with him and just playing music and stuff and having fun like that. But it just seems like, let me just say, her dad seemed pretty freaking tolerable. I feel like she should have had him more in her life. He seemed pretty tolerable. Maybe not the funnest, lovey-dovey type of dad, but you don't even need that. But it's tolerable for you to. He seemed doable. But that fucking mother, oh my god, and that brother with his anger management problems, and then as an adult, his shady fucking ways with money and shit. No, hell no. And then the sister,
not for me, man.
The sister, whore sister, drug using sister. Like what? I don't know what the fuck her story was, but she needs help. And to this day, she's every now and then in the headlines, like she. I feel kind of bad for her because I don't know what the fuck happened to her because it looks like her face. It just looks like she has like no life left in her.
You can hear a lot of that angst in some of her songs, not to the extent where it's like hatred, but you can see that she really sings and does a lot from the heart.
Yeah, I'm so glad you noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, good ear. But yeah, and the song Petals. I think absolutely. She was saying goodbye.
I'm not too familiar with the song, but if I've heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, 100%. Right. And I think that's one reason why, just my opinion, is one reason why she's made such tremendous strides with her career is just how she handles her music.
Yes,
I think it really exactly. It comes very personal level. Even if it's just a regular pop song, which I'm sure she has, it still comes from some kind of organic, kind of development.
Every song she's ever put out there, other than covers, the few covers that she's ever done, she's always co-written or co-produced any song on her albums. Like that's. She's had a hand on she's not just a
not gonna lie,
she's not just a singer
for me.
Right,
this is a learning experience.
She's not just a singer. She figures out the vocal arrangements, all of that. She has a hand in behind the scenes type of stuff. She really does. She writes lyrics, all that.
I thought this
figures
was
out the melodies.
I thought this was interesting. Mariah Carey has 2 world records, 2 Guinness Book World Records. One is for hitting the highest note for the national anthem. Okay. Highest note for doing the national anthem. It was like a G7 sharp. I guess I don't know a lot about music, very minimal, but I guess that's like one of the highest notes she's had. Another one for having the most range of octaves. She can go from an A2 to a G7, which I guess is a pretty huge range. A very dynamic range. I mean, that's like 6, 7 octaves. I don't know how many octaves there are, but she can fucking hit them all.
She can.
So she's got 2 world records. I don't know if anyone's ever beat them or not currently.
No, I don't think so. She's got another record. She's the only artist to have a number 1 in every single year of a decade. So from 1990, from 1990 to 1991, she had at least one number 1 single each freaking year. No other artist has ever done that, and no artist probably never will, honestly. Yeah. So that's impressive as hell. But
that's a tough beat. That's a tough beat.
Yeah, that's not music. The music in the world ain't like it was, so it ain't gonna never be another Mariah Carey.
She came from
with those type of accolades.
She came from a time when you needed half talent, half luck. You know, you had to have some kind of skill set. You had to have the right motivation, the right people in your life. So you had to have good luck, like how you network, how you communicate.
Exactly.
Whereas now, it's you don't technically have to have the talent. You just have to have the luck.
Yeah, because like how she even got a record deal, it was like the classic Cinderella story. She sang background. She got a background gig singing for Brenda K-Star, I think her name was.
Okay.
And Brenda really loved her voice and stuff, and she thought she was so cool. And they would hang out sometimes, and she would take her to parties sometimes. So she was like, all right, like, have your demo and we'll go to this party and we'll give it to this guy. And they meant to give it to this one guy, but Tommy Mottola just stepped in and grabbed the demo tape and, like, I think he just took it because they were about to give it to another record exec, but he just grabbed it. It was weird. Like, that just shows you right off the bat the motherfucker ain't right. Like something is off.
Nope, mine. Fuck off.
Right. And then he actually left. He left. He just walked away after he did that, and they thought that was extra weird. But he actually went to go into his limo or his car and listen to it. And then when he went back, she had already left because like that was a what the fuck moment. So,
yeah, it was. Yeah. Why are you gonna steal my tape?
Right.
And not even say, like, I'll be right back.
Right, yeah.
You mean like a BRB
no communication.
Yeah.
It was 1988. I don't know. He was weird, yeah. It was 88 or 89, guys.
Probably still fucking weird.
But, yeah. but
you never get over being weird.
When he went back, she had already left, just like Cinderella with the glass slippers. She was gone, so. But,
that's
right. But that's how she got a record deal because she was connected from, you know.
Did this book come out before or after her divorce?
This came out like just this year, a few months ago.
Oh, then yeah, that's well after her divorce.
Yeah.
She was married to Nick Cannon for like fucking 8 years. I'm just looking at the IMDb right now. I'm looking at.
Was it 8 years?
Yeah, April 30th to November. So it was like over 8 years.
I didn't think they was together that long.
4 years ago. They may have been together longer before they got married. I mean, Nick Cannon, I mean, shit. What's the divide in age? She's 70, he's like 80-ish, mid-80s. So there's not that matters. Mm-hmm. There's at least a 12 or so. 12, at least a 15-year divide between them.
Right.
But, man, yeah, that ended 4 years ago in November. Literally, exactly, oh my gosh!
When they finalized it, because I think it did take 2 years for them to finalize it.
Gotcha,
She mentioned that. I think she mentioned that in the book. Yeah.
2 years and like 10 days or 15 days. It's November 2nd, 2016. This is what IMDb says.
Okay, but yeah, we're on part 1 right now. Still about her childhood. And yeah, she mostly lived with her mom and until she graduated.
We'll do some IMDb
left.
trivia later.
But she also
IMDb trivia.
Her mom seemed kind of jealous of her after a while. Like I think she said once she came around, like
she was a musician or singer, right?
Yeah. I think her mom got kind of jealous, and
I guess
it was like never the same after that. You know, that happens to a lot of women, anyways. Like with their daughters.
Catty as fuck. Why can't you be like, "Hey, great job! Oh my god, I'd love to
I'm so proud
sing background for you."
Right?
Like,
that too. Right. When she get titties, the whole thing is off.
Yeah,
it's never the same.
Fucking real. That's bullshit. When you've raised and made a daughter. Although, from what you're telling me from the book, I'm sure is saying that she didn't really have much of a raising opportunity with her daughter. I'm sure she raised her, but
she raised her, but she wasn't. She left her home alive and under the age of 10 and shit. Like, that's not right. You don't do that. She wasn't very. I wouldn't say like abusive is the word, but I would say neglectful as hell. Like, I would definitely say that without a doubt. I would definitely say neglectful. So yeah, so it was sad to see some of the stuff. And do I want to talk? Okay, I'll do one story about her sister. Her sister
story time.
Her sister Allison Carey, crazy as hell, poor thing. But
spoiler alert.
Her sister was she got pregnant at like 14 or 15. And
Damn.
I know, right? And she went to the Philippines or somewhere with the boy who got her pregnant, and then they got married or whatever. She comes back by the time Mariah is, I think, 12. Yeah, I think she was 12. This is crazy. Okay, so she comes back around and hangs out with the mom, and Mariah, comes by every now and then, whatever. And then she takes Mariah out with her boyfriend. They all just hang out sometimes in the car and stuff, and they go to IHOP for pancakes and stuff, and just listen to music in the car and have fun and stuff like that.
I like pancakes.
Okay. So she got Mariah Carey a private phone or whatever, so she could call her. Yeah. So one day she calls the private phone, and Mariah answered. She's like, "Hey, we coming to pick you up. You want to come?" She's like, "Okay, sure." Because she's thinking it's just hanging out with her sister again. Because Mariah didn't have many friends, so so she's like, "Okay, cool." And then she gets there, and it's only the boyfriend there. So right there, bitch. I'm just like, Mariah don't know no better. She's fucking 12. So she gets in the car, and the boyfriend isn't being like nice and friendly like he normally is. No fun music or anything. So Mariah is eventually just like, are we going to get my sister? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then he takes her to this house, and it's like some like a table like this. It's just like 3 or 4 dudes playing
Small
cards.
Table. Okay.
And then Mariah's just sitting in the corner, and she's just like uncomfortable as fuck. And they're just talking about how they like fuck bitches and stuff like that. Just weird, fucked up, inappropriate shit. And then she was like really scared. But then eventually he just stopped playing the card games, and then he just took her back to the car. So like, okay, wow, nothing happened. Jesus Christ, this is a miracle. And then he took her to a drive-in movie. Ew. The fuck?
Yeah.
He took her to a drive-in movie, and she was really uncomfortable. And he parks, movie bus start, and then he like puts his arm around her and pulls her in a little bit. Weird as fuck. And he said he kissed her really hard on the cheek, and she was like really scared and uncomfortable. She's freaking 12. That's a baby. And then some dude pulled up next to them to watch the movie too, but then he just like looks into the window, and he's just like, wait, what the fuck? He just looks like really weirded out too. And then the guy Mariah's with, he just pulls off. He pulls off and then just takes her home. So I guess he didn't want to go through with it, thank God. But Mariah was like that. She was scared, and she was praying, and she thought that guy next to them was her prayer answer. I was like, yeah, because I could have been bad as fuck. And then one time she was somewhere outside with some other kids, and then he was looking for her, and he pulled up, and then she had ran and hid. And so he had left, and she was looking for her. What the fuck? Her sister tried to pimp her out. That's some weird ass shit. Oh, and then, yeah. So that was fucked up. That was a fucked up situation. And then this other time, I think it was before this, because I think that's the last time she unplugged the phone after that.
Yeah.
She said, fuck that shit.
That
is fucked up. That is fucked up. But before that, this other time, the sister had dropped her off at the mom's house, and she pulled out like some cocaine, and I think she put it on like a nail file. And Mariah was like kind of old enough to know that she shouldn't be doing that. She was like, here, just take a little bit. She was like, come on, just take a little bit. And Mariah was like, good. No thanks, I'll see you later. And just walked away. Something like that.
God damn, this poor girl.
Yeah, so I'm like,
fuck?
What the fuck, Allison? Oh my god.
Holy fucking shit.
It is so sad. So sad. But
hopefully nothing really happened. I mean, when like people write books, they
don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that is.
Might want to hold back.
I don't ever want that to happen to anyone.
Right, exactly.
Scum's a fucking life. Fuck them. That's fucking crazy. I really hope it didn't happen.
Terrible. That is terrible. That she even put her sister in that situation. I have a sister. I
fucking A. Yeah. You got a sister. Even if you don't have a sister, if you know
a human,
if you know people or a kid,
exactly.
I mean, that happens to all kinds of kids, not just women, but it happens to children. I mean, think of the kids that come over here illegally. How many of them do you think are put into certain situations
Right,
where they're like,
exactly.
I can make a buck.
Exactly.
Disgusting.
That's her survival, right? But
I'm really glad that it didn't
she
happen
said, right. She said after that she just unplugged that phone and just didn't fuck with her no more. And I don't think she told her mom about that.
I'd have fucking destroyed that phone.
Right.
I'd have fucking beat that phone with a club.
Oh my god, and this other time, right. This other time, I don't know if it was before or after this, but one time the sister came over and they were having tea, and then the dad called. Allison didn't want to talk to the dad, and Mariah answered the phone, and she was like, they were playing. They were like, she was like, oh no, she's not here. And she's like, okay, she's right here. And then Allison was like, she screamed like, no, and then threw the fucking tea on the little girl's back. What the fuck? Get some emotional self-control. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
So she had like maybe 2nd-degree burns. She was burnt up. Like that's abuse. Now that's abuse. Yeah. Now
even if it was cold water, I mean, still it's.
But yeah,
kind of abuse.
Have some emotional what? That's how you know something's wrong with her. Like to try to pimp out her sister. Maybe she couldn't. She needed more drugs or what? I don't fucking know. And she just used her sister for more drugs. Yeah. So like I don't know. But that thing, she burned her back up, and I was like, she was just like, y'all was just playing. She thought y'all was just playing. Just because you didn't want to talk to your fucking father, you just gonna pour the fucking tea on her fucking back. Like that type of shit is insane. That's how you know Allison Carey. Like something is fucking wrong with her. That don't make sense to me.
That creeps me out.
Right.
Just thinking of that. Just thinking of that kind of shit, fucking.
Yeah, it's like.
I've been through stuff like that when I was younger with my mom, where it wasn't that extreme, but it was
close.
Yeah, it was emotional. Right. It was mostly emotional, which is equally as bad, if not. Some people argue that emotional damage is worse than physical.
It is because it lasts longer. It's harder to.
Yeah, you have to think about it
to get over.
Like getting punched in the face is easy. You wait till the bruises are healed and it's fine.
You can't heal easily.
Whatever. Yeah, but someone calling you a piece of shit and browbeating you and just making you feel like
especially
a lesser.
Daily.
Yeah,
you seem
especially
Precious.
Younger.
That type of shit.
Yeah. Speaking of Precious, she was in Precious.
Yeah, she was. She was in Precious. Talks about it in part 4. Yeah.
Ah, she was so good in that.
But those are just some examples of the neglect and abuse she went through. And then part 2, she meets she gets the record deal and meets Tommy Mottola. Right. And one thing about that was, she never, I gotta call her out because she never explained how he, even stepped to her to even, because this is the man she married. So, how did he even, you were under his label, you're one of his artists. So, how did he even, try to go on an actual date with you and try to romance you? Because, you try that shit with me if I was in her position. I'd be like, that's a good one, Mr. Mottola. Now let's get back to work. When she didn't shut that down, she just went with it. But, so I wish she would have explained that first interaction, where he tried to show interest in her like that.
Yeah, so Mariah Carey, if you're listening, explain that shit.
Explain that shit, girl. I'm just confused. But I think she kind of did explain it. I think she said, that was kind of she thought she had to do it. That was the price of fame or the price of her. Right.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah,
I think that's how she explained it. I could be wrong, but that's how she, in her mind, that's how she.
Yeah.
She thought that was going to have to be the price, and then
when you're young and you're making a record album, and you're trying to. Yeah, I can see that.
Because because before I read this book, I was like, well, maybe when somebody's giving you attention and saying that they love you, and you come from nothing, and they're showing interest in you and that they actually give a fuck about you, maybe you would fall for that shit, even if he is 21 years older than you and looks gross as fuck. Definitely. But so I don't know how he really wooed her, but she doesn't go into that. And I wish she did. How did he get you? But I think how I explained how I thought she explained it. I think that's simple as that.
Nice subplot.
Yeah, she thought
that could have been a detail in the book that they might have removed, which would be strange.
It would be strange.
It's possible. I know I've heard of that where. Or if they knew she was releasing a book, what I know has actually happened with several people writing books is if you're going to release your book, you can't release these details.
No, I don't think she would have cut that out because she goes in, she makes them look, she tells the truth and makes them look.
Fair enough. Oh, so she goes into other details that are, gotcha.
So it does not pay
Didn't read the book, but I know
you're good. Yeah, but no, I don't think any of that happened.
That's cool, that's good.
Because,
I know for a fact that there have been some people that were about to write a book and that people that knew him, that he knew, or she, or whatever, their little, their little group of people came together and they're like, fuck. If he writes this book, he might talk about that thing we do with that person. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes or no.
Yeah, so I could definitely see that. Plus, in the music industry, especially even today, is a dirty business.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fucking dirty business.
Shady as fuck. These 360 deals,
especially
people still falling for.
Yeah. Even with, like, streaming music. Streaming music is disgusting when it comes to the artists and how much they're paid for it. A lot of like Spotify music streaming, YouTube when they stream music, any of the music streaming sites, the major music streaming sites, when they stream major artists on those sites, they get paid incredibly large sums of royalties. I mean, it is nuts the kind of royalties they are paid, and how much of that goes to the artist is fractions of a penny, if they're lucky, to the original artist.
I didn't know it's that bad.
Yeah, and even if the artist doesn't write the whole song, or if they collaborate, or if they bought a song, they still had to produce it and make it and do this and do that and write it.
Yeah, goddamn.
I mean, who would be more popular doing certain songs? Like the guy doing it out of his basement, or selling it to like Mariah Carey. You know what I mean? So either way, it's like there's so much that goes into making one song, and for a producer to just run the numbers and shuck it out into the public, and for them to make like 99% of the revenue,
right.
which is uncommon,
right?
Especially from streaming sites. Like, yeah, it's such a dirty business, such a dirty fucking business. So for those of you out there getting into the music industry, I wish you good luck.
Right. But the part 2 where she's in the marriage, she got her own apartment and stuff before the marriage, and he convinced her to let it go and move in with him. And then they built a mansion. It was a $30 million mansion, and she said she wanted to pay half before they started building it. And then she's like, "Damn, it's gonna be like 15," but she still did it because she wanted, to feel independent or whatever. So, but he had too many cameras up in there. He had cameras outside the house and in the house. Bodyguards inside the house, outside the house. Like whenever she would go into the kitchen for a snack or something, they'd be like, "Hey, what you doing?" Like weird shit like that. Like that is a fucking prison. She hated it. She hated it.
Imagine.
And I would too. Like, oh my God, you really got yourself in this position. And he like took her away from her friends and family at that point and stuff. But it was sad. And also when she said he proposed to her or whatever, she said she married him because she thought he would get better because thought it would calm him down because he was kind of being dickish before he, when they were just dating.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Nah, that didn't work. Their honeymoon was awful. I'm not going to get into that exactly." But this is another thing about the mother. Mariah Carey showed her mom the ring, and then her mom simply said, "You deserve it," and then just walked away and got in her car. What the fuck? And got into the house that Mariah Carey bought for her. Like, so your daughter is about to marry this man she's 23, he's 21 years older than her. You're not going to have a conversation about the shit or anything? Like,
you deserve it, great.
Right, yeah. If grown people are going to do what they're going to do, but like you're seriously not going to have a conversation, you don't have to deter her from it, but you're not going to be like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" Like, he's the head of your record company, are you sure? Like, none of that. She didn't give a fuck.
There's like hidden agenda.
Right, yeah, like, oh my God, her mom did not give a fuck. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Of all time, she's one of the highest selling singer-songwriters. Still today.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, for him to want to marry her, there could have easily been a motive.
Exactly.
If they're married, I can't sue you. And you're my record producer. Mm-hmm. That puts me in a very interesting position.
Exactly.
Very interesting, especially with your music career, with what you're doing. If you wanted to sue me, you couldn't.
Plus, she's hot.
Plus, she's fucking gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she makes me reconsider.
And young, and a virgin at the time. She said she really was a virgin by the time she got married with Tom Mottola, because like she said,
I believe
she had seen her sister in some positions, so she would just
that would turn me off.
Yeah,
like most kids, that, like their parents are alcoholics and they like fucking hate booze. Like, they won't even drink a beer with you. Yeah, totally.
Right. Exactly.
Totally. I could see that. I could definitely see that. You see your sister and whoever else and your mom, and you're like, yeah, I'm fucking waiting. If you love me, you should have put a motherfucking zirconia on this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, and then she talked about the Christmas album. She talked about
that wasn't her song, was it? Love Me, You Should Put a Ring on It.
No, that was Beyonce.
Oh, okay, I knew it.
But
sorry.
It's okay, guys. He's not a lamb. He's a good music lover, though.
Thank you.
But
I didn't think it was, but I just figured I'd ask.
She talked about the Daydream album and how she did the Fantasy remix with ODB. That was a fun story. And,
I love Old Dirty Bastard. Oh, I forgot they did a collab.
That was like the first. Yeah. She talked about that, but I want to skip to that because I want to talk about.
Yeah, do it.
I want to talk about the Butterfly era, the best part of the book, bitch. 1997. All right, so
For those of you just tuning in, we're talking about Mariah Carey's book. Memoirs. Thank you.
The meaning of Mariah Carey.
Oh my god!
But
you're making me want to read it. I don't even know her like that. Like I don't even like her. Like I
so
think
great.
she's brilliant, talented, but just
yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You make me want to read it.
She talks about he was being too controlling and it was driving her fucking crazy. He insisted that they see a marriage counselor. And she was like, fine. But the marriage counselor was actually unbiased and actually pretty fucking helpful.
Yeah.
Surprised the fuck out of me. Like, I didn't see that shit coming. So she was like one of the only people who can kind of tame his ass a little bit. The therapist. I know, right?
A good therapist should be
unbiased. Totally.
Yeah, very
totally.
objective.
Yeah.
Very objective.
So that worked out for her. And that was like one fucking ally in her fucking life at the time.
That's awesome.
Poor thing. But yeah, she, therapists said she needs to have more time, independent time on her own, and let her do some acting classes and shit like that. So they agreed on what she was gonna do and stuff. And then he let her
classes paid off.
Right. He let her. So she would have her one night to go out or whatever. It sounds fucking crazy just saying it like that. What the fuck? But she went to this little event and they were having dinner. They were having dinner or whatever, and Derek Jeter and this other guy walk in and they sit across from her and she didn't really notice anything.
Derek Jeter? The fucking baseball player?
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't recognize. Well, I probably wouldn't recognize him.
Right. Maybe not. I don't think he was signed yet. It was 1996.
Oh, yeah.
1996, 97. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't think he was quite signed yet. I think he was. But I don't know. He wasn't. I don't think he blew up yet. But anyway,
mixed man.
Right. She didn't really like pay.
That's like one of his nicknames too. Was like a beautiful mixed man or something. Like,
oh really?
He has some really funny like
nicknames.
Moniker. Yeah.
Yeah. She somebody asked him. He was like, you half black, right? Too, or something, right? And then that's when she got like interested. She was like, wait, what the fuck? Another person like me? So that's when she got interested. Who, Mariah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's I said it earlier.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You didn't know before this.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been drinking. But I didn't want to look at her and like assume. I mean, with her hair and
right.
complexion, like I don't know. She could have been Hawaiian. For all I fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah. So she
that's cool.
She had never really met too many mixed race people at the time.
Is like one parent like.
Her dad is black and Venezuelan, and her mom is Irish.
Okay, gotcha.
Irish white, you know.
Those Irish features are there, man. She has some serious Irish features. She is like the perfect man. They made a beautiful kid. I'd like to see the rest of their
spoken
kids.
by an Irish kid. Yeah, you should, because her sister was pretty cute before all the heavy shit.
Sure,
and her brother was hot. He was trying to be a model and stuff. But both crazy as fuck though. So keep your dick away.
So if you look at Mariah Carey, those fucking Irish features are strong.
But she she was talking to him a little bit at that dinner, and then she got her assistant to get exchange numbers and stuff like that because they ended up sneaking around and nothing salacious, but they would hang out every now and then and stuff like that. And she explained the roof. I'm not gonna give it away because like just go read it and like, go bless yourself. But she talked about what inspired the roof and then just listen to the lyrics, and that's basically it.
It does sound like an exciting fucking book.
Oh my god, it's so
honestly
beautiful.
To be honest with everyone here, I didn't know what to expect getting into this conversation with Mariah Carey's book. I thought it'd be, I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea like what to expect.
Right.
But I would not have even fucking guessed this fucking amount of dirt, man. Holy goodness. She's like the Motley Crue of fucking like R&B singers.
Yeah, so
I like her. Well, not like Motley Crue. Her history is kind of Motley Crue-ish. You know? The sister and the brother, the kind of the Motley Crue, and she was kind of like the roadie for them. You know what I mean?
Right. But that explains the roof video, her night with him, and then what else? Oh, and then the feeling that she got from him, that explains My All. That's a number one single of hers.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it is.
Like that song.
You know that song, bro?
You know
that
My
song.
All.
That's how she felt about him and it all. I'd risk my life to see you, because she really thought she was risking her life by seeing him against Tommy Mottola. That was her husband. It was so good, and just and he low key inspired Honey a little bit too, just a little bit. And
Who's Honey?
Honey, it's another number one single of hers.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, it's a song. Okay,
And she just it was more about what she explains was it was more about the feeling that he gave her, not so much him himself, because unfortunately they didn't make it work. Like, she went to his I think her divorce was about to be finalized, and she went to go see him and his family.
Her first divorce, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
with Tommy Mottola.
Yeah.
Still 90s. And
she went from like extreme older to extreme younger.
Yeah, she did. She played. Yeah, she did the opposite. Yeah.
Good for you, girl. She still looks. I mean, she's 70, so holy fucking.
She's 50.
Shit.
She's 50.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Or she's 49 or 50. Yeah, but she's
Wow, she still looks
still
like
hot.
she's fucking 25.
right.
God damn, that pussy must be good.
Sorry,
that was a bit much. I'm sorry.
You're
Brian.
okay. It's probably true. But she went to go see his family, and like I said, he's mixed race too. And she just got to see how his sister was so nice, and his parents were like good people too. She was like, "Oh well, fuck, it ain't my family. It ain't the fact that they're a mixed race family, they're just fucked up." Because this is another mixed race family around the same time. They actually give a fuck about each other and support each other and are kind to each other. So it just must be my motherfucking family, minus her dad. But
something,
yeah,
fucking A.
So I was like, she had to realize that shit.
That's crazy. Let's talk about her acting career. She has had such an incredible acting career. Now this is just like her IMDb creds. You're not gonna believe it, Sid. I'm gonna tell you now. A lot of it's like her music videos, I mean, obviously, but I just fucking had it up. Here we go. It's loading. Oh my god.
You don't even need that. I could just tell you.
Fair enough. She's had 134 acting credits. 130 fucking 4.
Yeah, music videos included.
Yeah, most of them are her music videos, which is fine.
But she does. I think she does a couple Hallmark movies, maybe.
Hallmark. That wouldn't surprise me. So she did. Let me find The Star. She played Rebecca in The Star, which is a kids movie. Looks like a kids animated movie. That was 2017.
She was in Lego Batman.
Yeah, she was. She was the mayor. Yeah, she was the mayor. You played the mayor. The mayor.
Right. I didn't even know it was her until I saw it on...
Right. I love that. I fucking love that. Like, if I hear your voice and I can't recognize it because you're doing something with it, and then I like through the credits and see your name, I fucking love that. That's so cool. I like when there's a minute mystery to your voice acting when you're an A-lister. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I fucking love that. I fucking love that.
Well, her first role, she didn't do too many...
McCaskill.
Right. She didn't do television. She just did movies at first, and her first movie was Glitter, of course.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was her lead role, and she said it had so many problems. Sure, she started writing it in 1997, and then it became...
Wrote it?
Well, she got it started.
That's awesome.
It inspired. It was supposed to be about her life, but then it ended up being about some character named Billy Frank and just weird shit. She said the script would go through daily changes and stuff. They'd be taking stuff out and putting stuff in. That's how you know. That's how you know it's gonna be trash. And her acting coach wasn't very. The acting coach, I think she said something about the acting coach was like more about herself or something, that she was like hyped up to be Mariah's. I don't know. It was weird. That I remember reading something about that was off. And because
fucking things they do. These
her
guys.
first coach was good, but then her second one, I don't know if it was the second one, but by the time she went to this movie, this one was like just not good or something. It was, I forget how she explained it, but that bitch wasn't on her side really. She wasn't doing her job right.
Yeah.
And it just had so many problems. But I will say Mariah Carey didn't really do a bad job. She kind of just like reacted to other characters.
Yeah.
They didn't give her much to do, but as you see her in other stuff, she's a good actress. She loves stage and stuff. She went to summer camps for those and stuff. 100%. She liked doing that too.
You know what? I see that. Typically when I find an actress or actor in general that I really like that I really appreciate, they typically always have some kind of theater background, which I found. And it wasn't anything intentional. Like Jack Black, one of my favorite actors, has a huge theater background. He has his bachelor's degree in theater.
Right.
Carrie Elwes is a Tony-nominated actor.
Tony.
Who else? Not Daniel Day. Well, Daniel Day-Lewis obviously did a lot of stage performance, but Philip Seymour Hoffman became one of my favorite actors. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. He has such a great way with developing characters. He's great with characters. He's great with internalizations. Great with having them pour out externally. He just has a great way of developing himself as an actor, and he. Bachelor's degree in theater. Michael Keaton, one of my favorite of all time. Fucking brilliant. One of the most versatile film and TV actors. Theater degree. Or theater experience.
Right.
James McAvoy has a huge theater background. One of my faves. Yeah, he's great. And with Mariah Carey, I always loved and appreciated her acting. I had no idea she had a theater background.
Yeah, she did. She did, so she liked it. She was in Wise Girls, was one of her first roles after Glitter, and I feel like that was basically Mariah Carey if she couldn't sing, if she had to get a regular job. she was either like doing something in a restaurant, and then the main supervisor or whatever, he couldn't be there or whatever, so she was taking over, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm about to do this shit right. She was so into it.
That's funny.
Her character was so into like I'm about to run this place the right way and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good in that. I liked her in that. I think she had a bit of a New York accent. That was cute. She did a good job in that. I think that was like 2003, Wise Girls. That was good.
So she was in Lee Daniels' The Butler.
She was
a brilliant film.
It was.
Brilliant fucking film.
That's
got, I don't know how many Oscar wins. Let me see real quick. I'll just give you guys a brief synopsis of fucking Lee Daniels' The Butler. I don't know why it's called Lee Daniels' The Butler. Because he directed it. Well, yeah, director Lee Daniels. What a freak. Why not just call it The Butler? John Cusack was in that shit, too. Played Richard Nixon. Oh! I need to see this again.
Yeah, it was really good.
What? This only has 2 BAFTA nominations. I mean, BAFTAs are cool. Why am I surprised at that? So, I'm surprised, because it was such a good film. What else was she in? Let's see here real quick. We're gonna go through.
She played a slave in that Butler movie, and people were giving her shit because she's mixed race and light skin and stuff, and she was like she was a field slave, and then everybody was like she would be a house slave because she's light skinned. I'm like, that wasn't the case every single time, you guys. What the fuck? Like, people would be like jumping the gun. Like, y'all need to calm the fuck down. And she did a good job in that too. She didn't have many lines, but. And
how the fuck would they know what kind of slave she would be? It's
right.
fucking weird.
Like, just because that was the case. Yeah, just because that was the case most of the time. Sometimes that wasn't the case all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we wasn't fucking there, so you don't fucking know.
We don't know. Maybe she was a house slave. Maybe she was fucking, like, insubordinate to the white asshole. So she got shucked out into the field. It's an art film. It's an art film.
Right. You don't know what the story was like. People were just sometimes are kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she did a good job. She did a good job in that.
Yeah.
And, it just showed.
I've seen her in it. She was great.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Precious! She was good as Miss Weiss.
She was really good. It was an all-around great movie. Precious was great. What I absolutely loved about Precious was it really showed the grittiness of some of the poor communities, specifically in the black communities. I thought that really set a precedent for showing some of the struggles within certain minority communities. And I thought it was absolutely so well done.
You know what else was a struggle?
So well done.
Mariah Carey having to use ugly makeup.
Yeah, they made her look ugly, and I was really fucking like, why would you do that? But I think for her it worked so well. It worked well for her because it showed something
just
different.
a regular.
Yeah. I like that.
I think she said she filmed it in like maybe a couple days.
They didn't really have her very long.
She was in like 3 seasons.
What's her? I can't think of her name, but she got for Moonlight, the cracked out mother in that.
Oh, she's amazing. I can't remember.
Great. Oscar nomination for 3 Days of Work.
One of the best.
3 Days of Work. I can't remember her name, but she's just an all around brilliant actress. Busta Rhymes, Mary J. Blige, Ally McBeal. She was in an episode in Ally McBeal. Whatever. What else you got here? Glitter. There you go. Billy Frank. Her name was Billy Frank and Glitter.
Which I didn't like Glitter. I do like Glitter. Actually, like it's kind of a guilty pleasure. But like I didn't. It was Billy Frank. It wasn't Mariah Carey. Like the mom. Okay. Mariah's mom in that movie was black and her dad was white, even though it's like the opposite in real life. So like, what the fuck? Sure. Like, it was weird. It was just strange how they did stuff. They Hey Lambs, if you remember, like a year or two ago, they were talking about Stars was talking about possibly doing a show about Mariah Carey's life right before she had a record deal, like in between high school and in between her record deal. It was supposed to be about that, but it never happened, and I'm crying to this day about it.
That's pretty much all of her major film roles. Is that.
Yeah. She said after Precious, more film roles were offered to her, but she was trying to get pregnant with Nick Cannon, so she had to let him go. But I'm like, damn. But she needs to get more into acting. I want to see her do more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think she's very well rounded. Very, very well rounded. Plus, not only can she act well, she understands the process of it. Mm-hmm. She can sell a fucking movie.
Right. I feel like
Mariah Carey is top billing. That's gonna sell a fucking movie.
Okay, she has
fucking A.
Loyal fans.
Absolutely. Okay, why do they call them lambs?
Oh, because yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah. Okay, as you know, Mariah Carey.
I wanted to ask you that since you first said it.
Mariah Carey, she's a butterfly is like her superhero symbol in the sky, like Batman. But we're called lambs because she said with her friend Trey Lorenz, who's part of "I'll Be There," the one of her number one songs.
I'll Be There.
Right. A remake from Jackson 5.
Yeah.
But she said her and Trey Lorenz were really good friends, and they just be hanging out and just joking around and be like, "Can you be a lime and get me a glass? Glass of champagne," stuff like that. So that's I think,
hysterical.
So I can't remember if she named us that or we named ourselves that, but it might have been she named us that because that's where it comes from that little Chuck.
Well, consider me a fucking like lamb. I am now a fucking honorary.
You're not a lamb yet, but it's cute to think that though.
I tried. I want to be a lamb now.
I can name.
I want to be a lamb.
Right. Okay, I can name all 19 of her number one singles.
Is that like the test? I gotta name like fucking songs and shit?
No, you don't. But like, it's just fun to know stuff like that, though.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But
it's good to know that kind of thing.
Let me see if I know them. Okay, I'll try to go in actual order because why jump around? It's actually easier.
Take your time.
So like we got Vision of Love, I Don't Want to Cry Someday, Love Takes Time, Emotions, I'll Be There, Hero. Oop, am I gonna Dream Lover? All I Want for Christmas Is You, even though it didn't get put up there till 2018-19. I'm sorry, 2019-20. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Let's see. We got Fantasy, One Sweet Day, Always Be My Baby. Honey, My All, Heartbreaker, Thank God I Found You. And then jump to 05, we got We Belong Together, Song of the Decade. And Don't Forget About Us. And Touch My Body. I think that's all 18. I don't know why I used to think Anytime You Need a Friend was on there, but it's not. Oh, and also, non-lambs, if you know, Shake It Off from 2005, it would have been to number one, but I think We Belong Together or Don't Forget About Us was already on the number one spot, so she kind of knocked herself off. So, like, what other artist has done that? So that could have been another number one. And also, Can't Let Go was close to being a number one, but her label pulled the single off the shelves because they wanted her album Emotions to sell more. So they kind of fucked her over by pulling off the single just so the album would sell more. She could have had another number one. So she kind of got cheated out of two number ones by technicalities. But like, I don't know if we could get the streaming numbers to make Can't Let Go and Shake It Off up to number ones because they were really close.
So if you're watching them on Vivo,
so let's try to figure out a way to do that.
Give them to a number one.
Yeah, let's try to figure out to do that because then she could have 21 number one songs.
Ooh. Would that be a record of some kind?
Yeah, I think she's number two. I think she's right behind the Beatles. Yeah, I think it's Beatles, Mariah, and then Elvis, if I'm not mistaken.
And then Drake somewhere.
Actually, Whitney, Rihanna, and Drake. I think Rihanna has 14, and she's above Michael Jackson and Whitney. And yeah.
No shit.
I don't know where Drake is on that.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I know Drake at one point in time had 5 #1 singles in the top 10 in 1 year.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. But yeah, we were talking about.
I love talking about music. I like learning about music. I'm not that great with music. I love music. Obviously, I have a very eclectic taste in music, but I don't actually get to have this kind of depth with music. So this is, I like.
Okay, so this is probably gonna be the last time I go in on the mother. So
going on that bitch.
Part 3, we talked about Glitter a little bit.
Let's get into this.
On part 3, and part 3 is she's with Virgin Records, and they were a newer company. They weren't as prestigious or around as much as Sony Columbia, where she had just left. So she ended up. She signed it up for $100 million deal. That was like iconic, and she was filming the Honey video. I mean, I'm sorry, not Honey, Loverboy. And I think by that time, or right before that time, it had been like 5 or 6 days, or it was about to be 5 or 6 days of like no fucking sleep. So any sleep she had was like less than 2 hours. She was being overworked. She wasn't getting enough food. She said it was hardly any shade on the Loverboy video, which was like a racetrack. She said it was hardly any shade, not enough water. Like they didn't have shit together. So that was like the start of her being exhausted. So after they filmed that, they wanted her to film another video for the album. Glitter for the movie, but she just took off and just ignored him in her penthouse in Manhattan that she had at the time. I think she just ignored the phone, and then she eventually went to her girl Marianne's house. Marianne is one of her backup singers since Butterfly, and she's really cool. I saw her in the Mariah's World TV show from 2005, reality TV show. But anyway, she went to Marianne's, I think in Brooklyn or the Bronx, somewhere in New York. So she went over there to try to sleep, but she said it wasn't comfortable because she had kids and nieces and nephews over, so she couldn't really relax. And her brother ended up finding her there. No, what happened? Oh, she ended up being discovered there. I think her brother convinced her to come to the mom's house that Mariah had bought for her mom at the time, years prior. So she said against her better judgment she went, but only if Marianne came, and Marianne came with her too. And then she shouldn't have done that because it got fucked up. So she goes to the house. She's exhausted, and the house is like unkept because like Mariah Carey's mom. Ugh. And she has cat hair everywhere and dishes piled up. So she was like, maybe I'll wash some of these dishes. It'll try to relax me. But I think she was dropping the dishes. That's how tired she was. She like dropped a couple of them, and then she was just like, all right, I'm gonna just try to go upstairs and go to sleep then. So she went to one of the spare. Yeah, right. It's that bad. So she goes into one of the spare rooms of the house that she bought. Let me remind you. But she goes into one of the spare rooms, and she lays down. I think she said before she can even close her eyes, her mom just barges in. She's like, hey Mariah, your job, they need you ready for the shoot, so, come on. So, talking to her like a fucking pimp, like, get out here and make this fucking money, bitch. You can't tell that your daughter is fucking exhausted as fuck. She's in your house, which I'm sure she doesn't do often. So, if she's doing this, there might be something going on. You're not gonna have a conversation with your daughter. Yeah. She looks tired as fuck. And she's like in this bedroom, just gonna be like, get your ass up, you go make this money. Like, seriously, that's how she kind of came at her. Jeez. And, Mariah got so mad, she started screaming at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just
screamed too.
She just started letting it out.
I mean, livid.
After all these years, she just started letting it out. And then her mom acted like she was like just being disrespectful or whatever. And she called the police on her. She called the police on her daughter just for her daughter yelling at her. That's like, seriously?
It's not illegal to yell.
Right, exactly.
It's not illegal to yell.
She said
unless you're threatening violence, it's not illegal to fucking yell.
Right. She said whenever her mom felt threatened, she would call the police because, white woman. she really said something like that. She really said something like that too, yeah. Yeah, so she called the police. And
white girls love their cops.
She was just like, yeah. And Mariah was like, she probably thought it was just going to get worse. So she just went with the cops. And she
maybe talk to your daughter like a human being?
Yeah, exactly.
And you won't have to fucking call
or maybe let her have a random outburst, and maybe when she calms down, maybe talk to her. Any of those options, bitch. Any of those options. If you're somebody who has fucking compassion, who cares about their fucking child, maybe any of those options would have fucking worked. Yeah. Give her some fucking NyQuil, knock her ass out, anything. Like, she's obviously...
Let her have a fucking nap,
yeah,
a decent meal.
She's obviously not she's in bed trying to sleep, and you're just gonna come in and be like, "Get your ass up, get out here and make this money."
Yeah,
that's really what that was.
I've been in productions like
what
that.
What the fuck? Yeah, that's
similar productions like that really? Where it's so exhausting. It's like 14, 15-hour days. Ugh. Of rehearsal, prep, build, whatever, this, that. Yeah, like, you start fucking seeing shit. You're half asleep.
Right.
When you're half asleep, you literally start hallucinating.
Exactly.
So imagine having like 2-3 hours of sleep a day for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, and then your mom's a dick. Complete cunt.
Exactly.
Fucking A, yeah.
Right.
I would start seeing shit. I would be fucking. Oh my god, she must have been going crazy.
Exactly.
Man, just thinking of that. Oh, that poor girl.
Right.
That's heart wrenching. That's heart wrenching.
I think she said she had heard about this spa. That was like nearby, so she went to that spa and she signed in. She couldn't sign out because it wasn't actually a spa. It's more like a mental health.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's where the police took her, and because I think she said she wanted to go there because she thought it was an actual
Ohio,
spa.
They call it pink slipping, so they pink slipped her to.
Yeah, she said it was fucking terrible. She said she didn't really get any comfortable sleep there, and she said it was fucking horrible. And then one day, one of the orderlies was like, "Hey, come check out this on the TV." And the Twin Towers I got attacked that day. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was fucked up. And
that's when that happened. And I know the fucking date. Right. September 10th was when she went, and then obviously the next day.
Oh no, I think she was there for a few days. I don't think it was the next day. But but by the time September 11th that happened,
shit.
Yeah, so she was in she lived in
shit.
Yeah, she lived in Manhattan at the time, but at her mom's house she was down there and stuff.
Okay.
And I think she was in California somewhere when it happened.
Gotcha.
So she said they let her go. She signed up. She's like, oh, okay, so now that this happened, I'm not crazy anymore. I'm allowed to fucking leave. So she was kind of pissed about that, but she took it. She went to a hotel and got some fucking sleep. Oh, I'm sure that was one of the best sleeps she ever. One time I watched, One time I watched Brandy on Oprah. Yeah. And she talked about Brandy the singer.
Okay.
She talked about one of her breakdowns or whatever because she was she had problems with like. She had problems, and once she finally relaxed and was at home and stuff, she slept for almost the whole day. She said it was the best sleep she ever had.
Yeah.
The way she explained it, I was like, "Ooh, I want some of that." But I'm sure that's what Mariah had, that type of good ass sleep. She was finally at that hotel and nobody bothered her.
Oh my god,
she was able to be in there discreetly.
Could you imagine like having a conversation with Mariah, like, "Yes, ma'am, I swear, no one's gonna come to your room. No cleaning, I promise you.
Right.
There will be no alarms. You can look right next to you. You can turn. I swear. Look, no one's gonna bother you. I swear. Put the thing on your door.
I promise you."
Oh my god, that'd be the most intense conversation to have with someone who's sleep deprived and just got up a mental institution.
Oh yeah, right. Jesus Christ. Just go to sleep and take a shower and get some food.
I literally I have that whole visual in my fucking head and I'm just like, wow. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like all that you gotta think, all that build, all that bullshit, all that crazy shit, the mental institution, getting fucking thrown in the back of a police cruiser, fighting with your mom, and then a cloud of sleep. Oh my god! Right. I kind of want to go through all of that just to experience that sleep.
Yeah, right. Low key, honestly, for real.
Yeah. Low key. I would love to just go through some of that and then go to fucking sleep for about a day and a half. Oh my god. Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, it was really...
This whole conversation gives me a completely different appreciation. And I've always digged her music. I've always thought she had nice music, and she always came from the soul. I loved her acting. You know, she hasn't done much as an actress, with the exception of her music videos. But I've always appreciated, anytime I saw her on camera, put out. I liked it. I fucking liked it. And when she was a voice actress in the Lego movies, I thought that was so cool. And this, huge, completely different appreciation for her. Completely, because she's been fucking,
after that experience, she actually did go to therapy. And the therapist, first off, the therapist at the place she was at the first time, he was very condescending to her, and he was just like, let me put this diva in her place. He was kind of like that, like a dick like that. And then afterwards, after she got that good ass sleep and down the road, she got some real therapy. He was just like, you gotta stop thinking about your brother and sister as your brother and sister, because like these people really don't seem to care about you. Yeah. So you need to start calling that your ex-brother and your ex-sister, and you need to start calling your mother by her first name, Pat. So she did that from that day on. She got she found a church home, and So that was, she had to realize that, because you keep expecting these people to love you and do right by you, but they keep trying to scam you. Your brother put you in that institution and tried to trick you off. I think him and the mom did that because they wanted to. Sister was somewhere being crazy at this point, so she wasn't really affecting her Mariah anymore. But the brother and sister, I think they wanted to put her in a mental institution to take control of her money and business and all that stuff, and her bank accounts and stuff. I think that's why they did it. I'm like, that's some foul ass, dirty ass shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what other reason would they have to do that? I think that was the reason. Especially that brother, he was extra scheming. But she had found a church home that she never really been to church or anything like that before, and found a good pastor to talk to, and he really had her back and stuff. So she was going to church and stuff, and she was still going to therapy, and she was healed after that. And so that was a dark time to read. And sometimes,
your deep breaths are just like,
sometimes, right,
poor fucking bitch.
Sometimes when you read dark stuff like that, it kind of drains you, because it was this one book. It was this one book I read. It was a mystery novel, and it mostly took place in one night, and all this fucked up shit was happening, and the character was exhausted. The main character, he was exhausted and trying to figure out this murder mystery, and it kind of drained me too along the way. I don't know if anybody, other readers have that experience, but that's kind of what the glitter part took out of me a little bit. It kind of like,
that's a cathartic,
tired me.
That's a beautiful. Even though it's sad and tumultuous, like, it has a lot going on. Like, that's a beautiful reading. When you can read a book,
kind of experience what the character's going through.
Yeah, like rather than seeing with. My only problem with most theater and TV is it provides you all of the emotions you need to feel. It gives them to you. It does it right. It has the right camera angle, the right lens, or whatever, the right acting, the words, the dialogue, the sounds. But when you read a book and you can project the book in your head and you feel the emotions and you're crying or you're laughing, like you read a good page in a book and you're like busting up laughing. Yeah. Or like when you're reading Mariah Carey's book and you're like, you gotta put it down for a second. You literally gotta like take a break and like, holy shit, this poor fucking woman. And you're like, it literally puts you in a completely different realm.
Right.
That is the most cathartic. And I love, me and you are both super passionate about theater. Passionate about TV, film, whatever. Specifically theater, I think you and I have a specific appreciation for. Put all that aside, fuck that. Read a book. Read a fucking book. Get out there. I don't read as much as I should. I love reading. I have appreciation for reading. I even like how the difference between literature and script analysis is. Like the difference between a script and a book. I prefer to read the script. I gotta see it. I gotta feel it. I want to know the words. I have that appreciation for it. Right. I just think that's such a more cathartic and much more deep appreciation for any kind of art form, is to be able to read something and feel it rather than having to see it and it give you the emotions. So that right there is just something so deep with me. And I don't read a lot. I'm not a big reader. I should be more of a reader.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But at the same time, I do like to read. I like to appreciate certain things. Yeah, mostly like, really short 2-page, comics. But I have an appreciation for that kind of art form, because it is an art form.
It is.
Reading it, and especially writing, is an art form. I think it's very beautiful.
I know it is.
Very, very beautiful.
But so that was part 3. She talked about and then part 4, this is the last part we're talking about, and she talks about.
So for those of you that haven't read the book, maybe take a break from this podcast and then read the book and then come back.
Yeah. Part 5, she talks about emancipation and how it was a big moment in her career. She made the music she wanted to make. It got many accolades. I think she got 5 Grammys off of that and 2 #1 songs off of that. And she got so much love from that album.
Yeah.
And she didn't mention a few albums. She didn't mention E = MC Squared, I don't think she mentioned
one of her album names?
Yeah, from 2007. It's actually my least favorite from her.
Relativity is one of her fucking. That's awesome.
Right. And she didn't mention Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel. I don't think she mentioned that at all.
And these titles,
right? Yeah, and she didn't mention her 2014 album at all. I don't think she mentioned it at all. I don't think she mentioned any singles. So I was like, "Oh, that's kind of shady," because actually, that's probably one of my favorite ones, maybe. And she didn't. Did she mention Caution? Yeah, she mentioned Caution. She did. Yeah. So, she talked about her marriage to Nick Cannon, how she met him. They got married in the Bahamas. It seemed like they were kind of just dating for a while, and then she was like, I ain't really trying to marry anybody ever again. And then I think they got pregnant on accident. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. It's been like a week, and that fourth part was kind of shaky for me. Yeah. But anyway, after they had the...
Nick Cannon, to me, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just guessing. I think Nick Cannon was kind of like her, her doing a dating life that she maybe never done.
Yeah, because she never really had dated. She never had really dated. She married that old ass man.
Yeah.
And before that, she dated a little bit, like just some guys.
Nick Cannon comes around. He
was fun. He was fun. Yeah. She wasn't trying to do all that. Funny. Yeah.
Nick Cannon's a very underrated. I love Nick Cannon as an actor. I think he is a great
as a good actor.
As an improvisationalist. I think he's great. Drumline, I thought it was a great movie.
Mm-hmm. She thought it was too.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I thought in general, I think he chose bad movies, but is a good actor.
Oh my god, I think you're totally right. I think you hit the nail on the hammer. Yeah.
A lot of energy, a lot going on. He's got a lot to put into it. Definitely very organic. I use that word a lot, but he's very organic. I think
you're right. I think he's supposed to be like Tupac in some movie coming up. I was like, I don't know about that. But he's doing it. Chirac, he was in Chirac. He
might have the look for Pac. He might have the fucking look. Now, that is a much more difficult character because Tupac was an OG thug. That dude was a fucking hard-ass fucking thug. Like a true fucking thug. Nick Cannon was is a kind of a pampered, spoiled guy. He's had a very successful career.
Nickelodeon. No, I'm just kidding.
Nickelodeon, yeah. Well, he's built a lot. Was someone like Tupac who came literally from the streets, came right out of selling crack to his neighbors to being...
He did that?
Tupac did a lot of shit that once he became a musician, he didn't have to do anymore. So, with a lot of people that came from, with the exception of, O'Shea Jackson,
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, thank you, who did not want anything to do with that kind of environment, who wanted to make music and get out of his circumstances, which he did, obviously, very well. Mm-hmm. He wrote all the Friday movies. He wrote, he produced one of our favorite fucking movies.
Are we there yet? No, I'm just kidding. Barbershop?
The Diamond Watch? What was that one movie?
Oh, the Players Club?
Players Club! Players Club!
Oh, I like that movie. Yeah.
Awesome fucking film. In general, with entertainment. Guy is a brilliant guy. And he came out of an environment that could have easily had swarmed him into it. And he came out of it. So with Tupac, it was very similar, where he was in a circumstance where he was doing certain things. Now, what it was specifically he was doing, I don't want to talk about, because I just don't know specifically, but I know he came out of a circumstance where he was involved in gang affiliations that then became a musician.
Right. And
so seeing Nick Cannon playing Pac, that would be a completely
great.
Man, he would have to really do some serious work.
We'll see. Serious work. But he I think she said after they had the babies, the twins, they didn't.
Yeah, they did have twins. Holy shit.
Yeah, they said
twins run in one of their families then.
Right. They said it wasn't really working out, so I think they just called it quits because I guess, dating somebody and being married to them is different when you have to live with them and have kids with them and balance out the. I guess it just wasn't working out. But they co-parent. I don't know why it didn't work. She doesn't really get into it, but I'm like, spill the tea. But it didn't really work. But they co-parent and they're together a lot and they're friendly and stuff. So that's good.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's a great way to have it. That's a great way to have it.
And Jesus Christ, if she had kids with Tommy Mottola, what the fuck?
Who is that? Oh, her first
husband. Yeah. Oh,
Good for her.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, right. But anyway, she talked about that.
Tight.
And then the fourth part was so disjointed though, because in the first three parts they were very well paced, and she would time jump a little bit to like explain the situation or something like that. But in the fourth part, she'll talk about the 2005 album, and she'll talk about Nick Cannon marriage and divorce, and then like she'll talk about meeting Aretha Franklin, and which was awesome, and Nelson Mandela briefly, Stevie Wonder briefly, Diana Ross briefly, Whitney Houston briefly. But I'm like, that's like most of those. Got
me excited was Aretha.
Right. Oh, Muhammad Ali. Yeah. But most of those, some of those encounters were like, the first Aretha one was like in 1999. I'm like, girl, this is part 4. You 2005 and above. Like, why are you talking about 1999 shit? Like, so I felt like she was talking about more of moments in her career that she like really enjoyed instead of like the actual stuff that was going on. Cause I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Like, she talked about how when she was pregnant, she had a rough pregnancy because she was like,
she was two fucking kids, biting at her.
Mm-hmm. And she was a little older. She was like late 30s, I think, at the time. Oh, gotcha. So it was probably a higher risk pregnancy. But she was making her second Christmas album.
Well, no, it's after 40s is high risk.
Okay.
30s, you're typically okay.
Okay. But she,
But yeah, see, either way, 2 kids.
It's her first pregnancy.
Yeah,
so. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't her first pregnancy, but it was her first time giving birth. She had a.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit.
So yeah, after that happened, she wasn't trying to do any work or anything. She was just trying to eat healthy and stuff like that. She really committed to. Traumatic, I know. That was really sad to read. But
especially for someone like her who is. You know, like, very sexually active, is very, like, intimate, is very, like, gotta get married, that kind of thing, follows these things. Yeah, that would be pretty traumatic. That would be pretty fucking traumatic.
It was sad.
And in general, it would always be traumatic.
Yeah, to anybody. Since we're reading about her and you get to certain experiences, you're like, damn, like,
out of
that
everything.
too?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, goddamn.
Out of all this shit and that. Like, great.
But
wow, you had to add that too, didn't you?
But she had her beautiful twins, which she loves. And she said, they have everything they need. She'll always be there for them and stuff like that, and make sure they're never feel like lonely or neglected and stuff like that. I think she said she's never been away from them for more than 24 hours. I was like, I don't know if that's healthy because they're about 10 or 11 by now.
Yeah,
or maybe 9.
Yeah. Helicopter.
Right.
There we go.
I don't know about all that girl.
Helicopter mom. All right, psycho.
she'll probably let go.
Yeah,
soon.
I don't know. I guess you know what? I know that a lot. Not a lot, but I know that. For someone to have that specific kind of experience might be more hovering over their kids when they've had miscarriages or whatever for whatever reason. Then later they have then later they actually successfully finish having a kid and they're growing. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Yeah, don't go on those swings. Oh my god, do not go on the swings. There's a chance you could maybe possibly get a bruise.
Like, they'll take care of each other. Their names is Monroe and Moroccan. Oh, I can't believe I never mentioned this yet.
What are their names? Yeah,
one of her idols is Marilyn Monroe, so she named her daughter Monroe, and
that's a cute name. Monroe is a really good name.
And she named her son Moroccan. I think that's how you say it. Moroccan, because after the
Morocco or Moroccan?
Moroccan, like after the rapper Rakim, but Moroccan. I don't know how to say it. But anyways, they kind of named him after that rapper Rakim. Nah, they ain't gonna know.
Yeah, no.
And just let it go. And they put the M on it because she wanted to have her first initial too. So that was cute. That's how you do it. That's how you do it for twins. But she so she mentioned that, and what are some last things I want to say? Oh yeah. The mother. Her dad. Dude, her dad.
Her ex-husband's a white guy. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Tommy Mottola, the devil.
Not that it matters. The devil.
Her dad. She didn't mention him. She didn't mention him from like 1990, like the early 90s until like his death. She didn't. So where was he for that whole chunk of time? Because like she didn't mention him that whole time. Yeah. Like, because like when she got that first wedding, like. Was he there or not? I don't think she mentioned. Did he walk her down the aisle? Because, like, for her second wedding, I think her nephew Sean walked her down the aisle for the second wedding with Nick. Yeah.
What a cunt.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. What a good man. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm drunk. This is a weird day. All right, it's a good day for me.
But
what a nice guy, a lovely man.
anyway, her dad, he had some type of what kind of cancer was it? I think it might have been pancreatic. I'm not sure, guys. I'm sorry. But rest in peace to Alfred Roy. But she heard she was trying to record for Charm Bracelet. And she got the call that he was sick, so she went down there. I think she spent a nice little chunk of time with him. Days and days and days before he actually passed. And she said the crazy sister came and everybody was cool. They wasn't trying to do nothing, have anything pop off, for respect for the dad. And everybody said their goodbyes and they just talked and stuff. And she said he didn't want to die in the hospital, so they took him to his girlfriend's house so he could rest there. And I'm pretty sure he died there. And he couldn't speak for like the last day or so. It was really sad. But so she at least got to say goodbye and talk to him about painful stuff. Like she always felt alone. There was no other kids like her, and like her brother didn't give a fuck. Her sister didn't give a fuck. Like she just let him know how she felt growing up, and he was able to receive that. And he talked to her about some stuff. It was a beautiful moment. She got to say goodbye, and a lot of people don't get that. So I was very happy for her that she got to let out whatever she wanted to let out before he passed. So that's like a beautiful story. Cause like she got the call, she was able to go down there and talk. Yeah, whether it was good or bad, they was able to connect and just let it be known whatever issues they had and just love on each other. So that was really sweet to read about. And I was like, oh, I need to hug my parents. After reading that, it was so sad. Yeah. It was so sad.
I've always had this weird, like, not philosophy, but this weird, like, opinion on, like, parents that, like, try to reconnect with their kids when they're going to die and now they're all apologetic. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, where the fuck was this attitude before? Like, why is it that it takes you before you're gonna like literally fucking die and burn and have to actually face what it is that you did in life that sucked?
Right.
Why is it takes you for that? Like, to me, that's not forgiveness. I can't forgive you for being a different person now because now you're faced with death.
Right.
I can't do that. For me, and that's just for me. That's not for everyone. Some other people, they need that. They're like, okay, great, well, you're going to die. Let me forgive you. That's totally okay. Like, I get it. You're going to die, and now you're on your deathbed, and now you're apologetic, and now you're giving me the sorrows and apology. Yeah. Exactly. And now you're giving me the apologies, and now you're facing your wrongs. And now all of a sudden you're this huge, like, religious person or whatever, and you're trying to make everything right. Well, now it's too fucking late, because now the damage is done.
Right.
The damage is fucking done. You can't sit there and take years, decades of all this bullshit that you've created, and then within the time that it takes you to die, tell me that you're sorry because you were dying. Right. It's still selfish. It's still the most selfish fucking thing. You didn't years later say, I need to change and be a better person and apologize just for the sake of your duty.
Right.
You did it because you're gonna fucking die. Fuck you. That's not good enough for me. It's not for me, and that's just my opinion on it. That's just how I feel about it. But I mean, I haven't told you guys, anyone listening, but I've told Ed, I've told some of my close friends about my history with my parents. So I have a bit of a small bias, but at the same time, when you think about it logically, and I try to think about this as best I can on all sides, but at the same time, I always come to the same conclusion. If you're on your deathbed, like, that's not much of an apology to me. I'm sorry, I can't. That's, for me, just not much of an apology. And if people disagree, please tell me in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. Like and subscribe on our Instagram and our YouTube. Speaking of death, Actors Lounge Podcast. Definitely check us out. This is a good episode.
It was.
I love talking about this.
One last story.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
They were talking about she had after she had gotten rid of Tommy Mottola. I think it was maybe it might have been 96. She had brought her brother and her mother along for Christmas,
I think it was 98. But yeah,
kind of ruined it.
93 to
They
98.
I think he just wasn't around or whatever.
Yeah.
But she went to Aspen. She started to make that a tradition, and she brought her brother and her mother along, and they kind of fucking ruined it, of course. So she never invited them again for Christmas because they ruined Christmas.
Fuck?
But in the last chapter, like one of the last few pages, she talks about I think maybe Christmas in Aspen again, and she talked about it was her two twins, Brian Tanaka, the dancer that she's dating now. I think to this day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Brian Tanaka. That's a cool name. I know why I like that name.
Right. But it was them four, and it was her nephew Sean and his wife, and their two dogs, or maybe the two Mariah dogs, or two Sean's dogs. I'm not sure. But Sean is like, they just had Christmas together, and she just talks about that Christmas night, and when she goes in the kitchen by herself, and she just feels happy and at peace, and that was really good send off. And I want to say, I think Sean, her nephew Sean, is the only blood relative that she's cool with some people on her dad's side. Like they get along and stuff, but she doesn't really she knows Sean because he's been around for such a long time. That's her little nephew. They're only 9 years apart, so they low-key kind of grew up together. I think they're only for maybe 10 years apart. But anyway, he walked her down the aisle and stuff. But I think that's the only blood relative that she is cool with, that she loves, that she has a good relationship with to this day. So that's really sad, but that's what it is. So I'm glad he has her, because if Mariah was my auntie or my fairy godmother, which she needs to be my fairy godmother.
Fuck yeah.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it ended on a really good note, and she feels
good.
at peace. And she's really one of the only people to do as far as the black mega celebrities, she's one of the only ones to do a memoir, because Prince is gone. He didn't have time to do it. Whitney is gone. She didn't have time to do it. And now there's Michael Jackson. They have other people writing for them after they pass, but they haven't written themselves.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm really proud of her for doing this and sharing it with us. And it was just a beautiful experience. I'm probably going to read it I feel like I'm going to read it once a year or something like that.
I might have to borrow it. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to borrow this book.
It's so beautiful. Oh, and I'm going to find it online for the audiobook, because I want to listen to it, because she talks all the words in the book. She reads them. And even on some of the pages, when she's talking in a chapter and it relates to a song, she'll sing maybe the first verse of the song. Is really cute. And I actually did that too. Somebody told me in the audiobook that she does that. And I was like, oh my God, I was doing that anyways. We're so connected. I'm so crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I have to read the audiobook. I don't know if I want to pay for it. I'll probably find it for free online somewhere. But she's a millionaire. She don't need it.
YouTube.
Yeah. Because I want to hear her talk, and I want to hear the emotion in her voice. Yeah, I hear she does a great Aretha, so
we gotta put that on our podcast. Right. We can find a good download of that.
But yeah, so that was the experience of the meeting of Mariah Carey. It was beautiful. I learned so much. I had some theories about certain stuff, about certain videos, and I was wrong. But what I did get when the real stories were actually even fucking better than I would have imagined. It was beautiful. Any lamb should have this book.
Just hour and 15-minute fucking...
Oh, so much I didn't even say about the childhood.
But they really got me
interested.
Yeah, literally when you're done, let me know. If you haven't finished it already, I
finished it. But yeah, because some people
taking it home with me.
Some people say some people just assume that she came from a middle class background, maybe a rich family or something, something decent, but she did not. She was rotating 3 shirts at one point. That's all she had. That type of shit. You get to learn. You get to learn some shit. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Beyonce's dad had some money.
It's not sweet. It's not, but it's
good to know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I do like that.
Yeah, some people, so that's her story. But it was great to really learn a lot more. But also, she didn't talk about. I told you she didn't talk about the Mariah's World TV show, reality TV show from 2015-16. She didn't talk about that. Didn't mention that at all. And she didn't mention her
She had a reality.
Yeah, she did. It was cute. And she didn't mention her
That's cool.
bipolar diagnoses, during the glitter days. That's when she was diagnosed, and she told the world and People magazine 2 years ago. She told us about it, but she didn't talk about it in her book. So I'm like, girl, and you didn't talk about how Tommy Mottola actually stepped to you the first time. I wanted to.
She's probably writing a different book, but again, this might come down to pacing. So she might have actually mentioned it, but maybe it comes down to pacing.
Girl, she could have had. Let me tell you right quick. She could have had a book for every decade, girl. Okay,
Yeah,
she was born in the 70s. 70s and 80s could have been a whole book. Yeah. It could have been a whole 350 pages. The 90s could have been a whole 250 pages.
She started. She was 20, literally 20 when her started.
Record. Yeah, when her record was released, her album, her first album.
When she was doing her Thug Dizzle, she was fucking 20 years old. Like that's.
Yeah.
That is like.
She's a boss.
Oh my god! Just thinking of that, like all she knows is fucking.
But it was so wonderful.
Wow. Well, this has been a great episode. I'm excited that we did this episode.
Yeah, you guys, we're probably going to do more book clubs down the road.
I thought this was going to be like a 20, 30-minute episode, but we just kept going.
No, I have to go in.
I love it. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so excited. I love this episode. I love these episodes in general. I love working with you, Ed. This is such a, like, you have no idea what this does for me. I always.
It's a fun outlet. No disrespect to anybody I talk to, but Patricia Carey is never too late to do right.
Just saying, bitch. Just saying, bitch.
I'm just saying. Maybe see a therapist. It ain't too late. You got grandkids out there.
You got time. You got time. Get the fucking together. So I think
I need to get my shit together.
I think we can end it with our social media and then a quick quote from her IMDb herself. So obviously, please follow us on Instagram at Actors Lounge Podcast. You can follow Lamar Finesse on Instagram at Lamar Finesse, LamarFinesse or whatever. Yeah. And then you can follow me on my Instagram at Shaner.artistdead. That's Shaner, SHANER, Shaner.artistdead. So follow us on our platforms. We always have a good time. And from the great words and wisdom of Mariah Carey herself, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully, it's not a freight train. I think she's got a great sense of humor. I think that's a good sense of humor. I like that quote. I love that quote. So I love doing these things. Butterflies. Lambs. I'm going to be a lamb here soon. I'm telling you, I'm going to be a lamb. But it was awesome. It was awesome speaking with you guys. Have a good night. I'm sorry that we haven't been posting as much as we normally do. I've had a tough week this week. I'm not going to lie. Emotionally, just been kind of weird. No big deal. I don't want to get into it. It's not a big thing. I don't want to put it on you guys because I want to entertain you guys. I want to give you guys something fun and exciting and interesting to look into. So, but luckily, because of my best friend Ed here and the things that we do together, I'm able to do my thing and feel better about life. So, we're going to end it here. But always a pleasure. As always, I am Shane Nicholas. With me, as always, my best friend
Lamar Finesse.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure.
Be festive.
That was so good.
I want her to say it.
Is it? Oh my god, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it. That was good. I like it. We're out. Goodbye. Love you. Bye.